Hey, what's up, Next Level crew? Welcome back to another episode of What's Your Next, where we help you navigate your path to business and franchising. And today we got a great topic, and that is gig working. And a lot of people today are really thinking about gig working and how that is changing how people work today. And more importantly, what does it mean if you're considering a franchise?
Welcome to What's Your Next. This is the go-to podcast for aspiring business owners who want to get to the next level, escape the rat race, and give their middle finger to the corporate 9-to-5. If you want financial freedom, work-life balance, and the business of your dreams, you're in the right place. Dave and Stacy Riska, husband-wife franchising duo, openly share their successes, failures, and lessons learned in franchising, business ownership, and working with your spouse.
So, Stacy, what is the gig economy, and why does it matter for people who are considering franchising?
Right. So let's first define what the gig economy is. People are familiar with the term, a gig worker, and you usually think of, somebody doing Uber, a DoorDash, freelancing themselves out, maybe on a site like Upwork or Fiverr. So these are people who are doing jobs sporadically here and there. Now, a fun fact is you may think, there's just a few people doing this. But did you know there are nearly 60 million Americans doing some type of gig work today?
I'm not surprised.
So this is growing. And now with what's happening in the economy, I think more people are going to be looking at gig work as an option. So that's why we felt this is a good conversation to have today. Because look, if you do gig work likely because you want freedom and flexibility. But what it doesn't give you is long-term wealth building benefits. And so franchising combines both of that. Because here's the thing, if you're going to work hard, why not do it for yourself and build your own wealth instead of somebody else's?
Sure. And just to add on to that, people don't realize how prevalent gig working is. So I just wanted to talk about our previous franchise, where we would frequently, if we had a very large job, reach out and look for some one time, come on, help us out for this gig, right? That's exactly what we used it for regularly for many, many years. So this has been around for a very long time. It's not a new concept for certain, because we've been, 19 years in our franchise, we used it a whole lot, didn't we?
We did.
Yeah. So it's on both sides for franchises. It's not just, if you're considering changing from a franchise, from gig working into a franchise, but it's, if you're in a franchise, how are you using gig working, right? Kind of cool.
Both ways.
All right. So why would someone leave gig working to look or investigate buying a franchise? What do you think?
Well, look, they are likely doing gig work because they want the freedom and flexibility. But look, they don't get any ownership in that. They don't get any long-term value. They don't get any benefits. And so it's really the company that you're doing the gig work for that's making all the wealth and building their asset. So what franchising does is it lets you build your asset, your wealth, putting jobs into the economy and giving yourself freedom and flexibility. And here's the thing, you don't have to buy yourself a job. You can look at a semi-absentee option because maybe you like what you're doing right now and you're not ready to go all in and kind of just quickly transition into something like a franchise. Most franchises offer some kind of semi-absentee ownership, meaning that you're going to hire a manager out of the gate. And so this way you can continue keeping the income that you have in place, but get your business growing and scaled up.
Awesome. And actually you led me right into my next overall question, and that is what type of franchises are best for gig workers. And I'm just going to answer this one because you already started the question. First off, there's many home-based and mobile types of franchises out there today that would be very good for a gig worker, meaning that it doesn't have to be necessarily a huge commitment investment-wise or even time-wise. So there's tons of them out there available. They're semi-absentee, as Stacy was saying. Those are typically very good franchises for gig workers because you can continue to do something else while you're running a franchise. And then finally, the type of, what a lot of people that are doing gig work are looking for, because they're really trading time for money when you're doing gig work in most cases, is some type of recurring revenue model franchise where you can build up a customer base and then the money just comes in every month ongoing so that you then have more time to do other things, right? So those are really kind of three very, custom fit types of franchises for somebody who might be coming out of the gig worker economy, right? Let's kind of wrap this up today on how can someone transition from gig work to a franchise? I mean, what's that path look like?
Well, hopefully we've laid out some reasons for you to consider why franchising might be a better option for you than just continuing to be a gig worker. And if you're open to learning and exploring, we'd love to have a conversation with you. And there's no risk, no obligation, just being open to learning and exploring. And here's what that process would look like. First, we're going to help you get clear on your why. Dave, you're passionate about this. What does that mean?
I mean, why would you want to be in business for yourself or, in this case, own a franchise? And it's really important you have some clarity on that for multiple reasons. One is for us to best match you to a franchise that aligns with that. We'll call it North Star, or what is your why? And second off, when you go into anything, you need some resilience, and times change, things happen, and you really need to have a very strong passion or a why for particularly any type of business that you go into, right? So that's kind of the overview of why. What your why is so important.
Yeah. And we spent, the why is so important, but we're also going to look at your transferable skills, the resources that you have. Where do you want to own a business? So we're going to look at availability and territory. And so all of these things kind of tie in to helping you find businesses that could be a really good match. So Dave will put in the show notes how you can reach out to us, but it's easy to grab a day and time on our calendar by going to explore.nextlevelfranchisegroup.com.
All right, awesome. So let's wrap this up today. Short episode, very important though, and that's how a person in the gig economy can transfer their skills into potentially a franchise. We appreciate you joining us today for this episode of What's Your Next, and we hope to catch you soon. Have a great day.